as a man, you're a natural problem solver. You want to solve problems. It's kind of just your thing. You want to solve the problem as quick as you can, go on to the next problem. Especially if you're a business owner. You spend a lot of your day in the zone of action. You want to be as fast as possible to just run through the problems because you know as soon as you've solved this problem, you got 40 more lined up behind it. So it behooves you to get that problem solved as quick as you can. You're not going to spend the time usually to sit and have a conversation and talk and get into the depth because you want to just understand, you want to receive the problem, provide a solution, and then keep it moving. But if you take that same energy home, you're going to find missing connection. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the No Half Cakes podcast. Today is Saturday, which means it's time for our strategy sprinkle. Now, if this is your first time here, a strategy sprinkle is where I will give you a short, practical, tactical tip to level up in your business and personal life. Other formats of the show, if you're new here, Mondays I do a Mindset Monday, which is a short, positive perspective to help you carry through the week. Wednesdays is our long form episodes. That is where I will sit down and have a heart-to-heart, real raw conversation with someone who's just done some stuff in life. It doesn't have to be in any specific area, but we just sit down and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the wins, the losses, the struggles, and you get to go along for the ride and listen to a couple of people who've done a couple of things and pick up some good insights, information, perspectives along the way. Those types of episodes are generally my favorite to have and to listen to, just because it's great to have that kind of deep, real raw conversation. And I honestly think that we are missing a lot of that in our society, which brings me into today's topic, connecting and conquering. Now, this topic, connection and conquering, right? What does it really mean? Like I said before, we miss out on a lot of deep, meaningful conversation. A lot of the time we are so stuck holding on to the things going on in our own realm that we are not even open to understanding what's going on around us. A great example of that would be the small things. Okay, the person at the drive-through window, the person who took your order at the Starbucks, the bank teller. A lot of the times these are just people that you don't even take the time to know their name, don't know anything about what's going on. It is simply transactional. Okay, these are people that you interact with, you speak to, you don't form connection with. A lot of times you are thinking, hey, this is just an errand, just a chore, just the thing that I'm looking at to check off my to-do list. Go to the bank, grab a coffee, get the kids to soccer practice, whatever it is, and you're just moving through your day, interacting with some people, but you never connect with them. Okay, so where does the difference come in? The difference comes in when you actually take the time to understand who that person is, to get to know them a little bit, to hear who they are, what do they have going on in their life. Get it to really get a little bit deeper than just the transactional level. Now, I want to challenge you because when you look at it that way, it's pretty easy to see the difference between, the person at the drive-thru window versus your best friend. Okay, one is someone you may not even know their name. The other one, you know a lot of good stories, a lot of fun stuff. But what I want to challenge you is, how do you treat them? Let me ask you in a different way. Your good close friends, when you speak with them, do you often just word vomit the things that you've been holding on to for the past 2 weeks until the last time you spoke to them was? Or do you actually sit and listen to where they're at? Do you take the time to give them a safe space, right, where they could be vulnerable and transparent with you? A lot of what happens here in communication and relationship building and how you get to the spot of conquering, where you build up a tribe of people around you who are there for you to love on you and to support you, is by building those deep relationships. Those deep relationships don't happen without someone creating that space for the other person to feel vulnerable. Okay, for them to feel safe to let you in on their life. Not just dump all the stuff that you got going on, but really allow them a spot to say, hey, do you have a second? I just need to talk to you. And you are present enough to put the phone away, to put whatever else you got going on down for a second and listen. Actually listen. Not just listen for an in so you could just word vomit out the thing that you got going on, but listening to hear. Okay, and that could be for you to solve the problem or just to give them a spot to process it out loud. Okay, as a thing that I've done with my wife a lot. As a man, you're a natural problem solver. You want to solve problems. It's kind of just your thing. You want to solve the problem as quick as you can, go on to the next problem. Especially if you're a business owner. You spend a lot of your day in the zone of action. You want to be as fast as possible to just run through the problems because you know as soon as you've solved this problem, you got 40 more lined up behind it. So it behooves you to get that problem solved as quick as you can. You're not going to spend the time, usually, to sit and have conversation and talk and get into the depth because you want to just understand, you want to receive the problem, provide a solution, and then keep it moving. But if you take that same energy home, you're going to find missing connection. You're going to find lack of intimacy. I'm not just talking physical intimacy, I'm talking even emotional. You're not going to get to a spot where you are comfortable having intimate relationships. Okay, and again, I don't just mean that physically. You want to get real and raw with somebody. You want to have someone in your inner circle. You want to have someone in your life who you can be open with, who you can share the good, the bad, the ugly with. That comes from creating that environment where people are safe to speak. Okay, and again, personal, professional, same thing. What you have to do is you have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to understand. And not just understand the problem, but understand the person. Okay, because every person you meet is going to need a different thing. My wife likes to process her things out loud. Okay, she just needs someone to listen. She does not need me to come to her and solve her problem like that. Okay, and it's restraint. Because my nature is, you tell me what's wrong, means I got to fix it, and I'm going to go do something else. But that does not serve her. So if you can start being a little bit less selfish when it comes to what you need out of a relationship, okay, and start showing up for the other people in your life, you're going to start to build these relationships where they also want to serve you. Now, I understand that that's very hard because it's going to take someone to be the first person to do that. A lot of the people you interact with have not yet heard this podcast, gone through this exercise, put in the work to be the less selfish version of themselves. Okay, they also want to just word vomit out the thing that's on their mind because they do not yet feel seen, heard, loved, or appreciated. But we can't instantly snap our fingers and change everybody in the world to be this way. What we can do is start showing up ourselves. And yes, it is hard. Because your nature is you want to just get that stuff out. Okay, you just want to get whatever is on your heart, whatever is on your mind, you want to vomit it out to the first person who's going to listen. And then you're just going to walk away and do something else. It's going to leave that person with nothing. You have not in any way contributed to that person's life if they are your best friend or the lady at the Starbucks drive-thru. You have not treated them any different in that environment. You have used them for something and went on your way. So my challenge for you is this. I want you to start evaluating your relationships. I want you to start taking a good look at how you show up in those. Are you actually having meaningful conversations? Creating meaningful connection? Or are you just using these people as a sounding block? Someone that you can just speak to. They will receive your words. They won't really hear you. Okay, but you're going to have said what you need to say because you just wanted to process it out loud. Share your burden and then move on. And then you're going to get frustrated why you don't have these relationships in your life. Look, the concept here is complicated. A little bit of a chicken and egg scenario. You want these deep, meaningful relationships in your life where you have people who are willing to listen, to show up, to shoulder, support everything you've got going on in your life. Those are the people who are going to be there, ride or die. When you have those relationships, you've got people who will hear you, who will show up for you. If you have a problem, they're going to be the first person to say, hey, Jim, what's going on, man? How can I help? How can I show up for you? They're going to be willing to put everything aside because they know that's when you really need them. The only way to get those relationships is to start building connection. And you cannot build connection until you start treating your relationships in that way. Right? We hear the term fake it till you make it all the time, and it's used in a very wrong way. Okay? I don't need you to fake the life that you want to live on social media until you start living. That's the wrong way. Okay, use it like this. You can work with people, have conversation, meet people in the street, the lady at the Starbucks drive-thru. Start treating those people as if they are your best friend you've known forever. Okay, don't just dump your life on them. Don't just treat them as if they were a meaningless person who handed you a cup of coffee and then stopped existing the minute you drove away. Treat the people around you, every single freaking person you interact with, like someone that you've known for years. You grew up together. You share childhood memories together. That's what I want you to start treating people like. And watch how your life changes. Watch how you start building meaningful connection with people and you start building these relationships. It's a long game, man. It's a long game. And I understand that sucks because you want gratification. You want it instantly. You want these things in your life right now. I do too. But I can't change the laws of physics. All I can help you do is see what needs to be seen. You start treating people as if they are your long-term friends. You start treating these people by giving them that space for them to feel seen and heard. You're going to build an army of relationships, people who are ride or die for you. And yeah, that sucks because in the initial part, you need to be a little less needy. Now, I get that seems easy to say, hard to do. Because like you got needs too, and they got to be filled. And it's much easier for me to say, oh, just be less needy. Just don't have anywhere to dump your problems on and just start being selfless and just treating people nice and just don't worry about your crap. Okay? I understand that that's not realistic. So we're going to solve that one too. The way that you start doing that is you start getting around people who've been through this process. Okay, the people who are not necessarily needing to be seen and heard in the same level because they already have that army of people around them to help pour into them. Those are the people that you're going to start to find and get around. They're going to be your superpower. Those are going to be the type of people who are going to help you walk through this process. But those people are not going to show up for you until you start identifying who you are. And I want you to hear this because this is the most important part of all this. Until you get super freaking clear on who you are, until you're willing to be vulnerable with those relationships, those people are not going to show up. Because you're going to be putting out this very surface level version of yourself. You're going to be pretending nothing else exists, right? That you're this perfect person, that you don't even have these problems. The real ones, the people that you want in your life, I don't have time for that. They're willing to accept you and to love you and to support you for who you are, where you are. Does not matter how much problems you have, what kind of drama you got going on in your life. You know, you're in the middle of a divorce, bankruptcy, the world's falling apart. Doesn't matter. Keep it real. Okay, you get around some people who are willing to love you through that. It will give you the power, the grace, the space that you need to start feeling seen and heard there. Okay, again, because they don't necessarily need that from you. Those people have done the work. Those people have gone through this process and they've built those relationships where they can leverage some of the love and support that they have received from other people and give it to you. That's going to allow you to not need that from the people that you need to build a relationship with. Because I need you to understand too, you need this thing, you need this need filled. Okay, it's not just going to go away, it's got to be filled somewhere. You just got to stop trying to get it filled from every person you pass by. So all it's going to happen is you're going to build meaningless relationships. You're going to be pissed off at everybody. Because you're not going to be able to build any level of depth with anybody. You're going to be going from person to person to person, trying to get this need filled, and no one's going to fill it. It's going to leave you feeling empty, frustrated, and alone. And instead of making progress, you're going to go backwards. So let me recap that for you. I want you to do two things. Maybe more. Let me think this one out. First one, you got to be real honest with yourself with where you're at. The good, the bad, the ugly. Again, honest. You've got to assess your current situation. There's some stuff you can improve on because we can all improve. None of us are perfect. I have stuff I can improve on too. Okay? And the people in my life, I share that with. Because I know they've been through some mud too. They got some junk in their closet too. We share that and we level up together. But the most important part is you've got to be willing to be you first. I don't want to meet the surface level version of you. That's got, the white picket fence and everything is great. I want to meet the real you. All your flaws, all your scars, all your junk. That's who I want to meet. That's how we build a relationship, is with the real version of you. Not the social media version, not the highlight reel, the real one. Until you can start showing up as that version of yourself, it's going to be really hard to do anything else beyond that. You need to start building relationship with people who are going to support you and love you for that. You're going to find those people. More likely they're going to find you once you start showing up as yourself. If you don't have those people in your life yet, go get on the Tad Better Club Facebook group. There's a bunch of people in there who are willing to love and support you even though they don't know you yet. Go find people there. I'm building a tribe of people who will be that for you. I do not want you to have any excuse for feeling alone, defeated, lost. Right? You are freaking worth it. You have a lot to give. But you got to make sure you do it in the right way. We look at so many issues in our life as, hey, I need you to fix my business so I can grow the business and make more money and pay off my bills and solve all my problems. It's not a business problem. It's not an income problem. It's a people and relationship problem. Your business is a reflection of who you are. The same way you treat relationships in business, same way you treat relationships in your personal life. And for most of us, relationship and communication is a weak spot. We did not grow up with great examples of that. Again, it's only getting worse. Which is the purpose for this conversation, frankly, this entire podcast, is to help you solve those problems before they become large problems, before you wind up on the brink of divorce, before you wind up on bankruptcy. I am looking to take everything, every pain, every difficulty, every frustration, every valley that I've been in my life, and use it for your benefit. Okay, I'm going to continue to set myself on freaking fire so you can watch it burn, so you don't have to do it yourself. But part of that is I need to understand that you're willing to do the work. I have no problem using my life as an example for other people because I don't want you to have to go through some of that same stuff. I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to. Again, I got a whole tribe of people who will be that person for you. I need you to work on communication, relationships. When we show up as ourselves, then and only then, we can build the meaningful freaking relationships that you're going to need that are going to take you to the next level. Those relationships are the key to your growth. You cannot do this alone. I know there's an inclination that you can just man up or woman up or do whatever you can do and just outwork everybody. It's not the way. We do this together. Okay? All of us combined together. That sign over my shoulder, rising tide lifts all boats, not just a fun sign to have in the background of my videos. It's how I live life. Okay, and that includes you. All of us collectively together get better when we bring each other up. That's the purpose of this. So what I want you to do is I want you to think for the rest of this weekend, or whenever you listen to this episode, give it at least a day. Show up for people in your life. Treat them as if you've known them forever. Okay, even if you don't find someone in your life instantly to help solve that problem, or you need to pour into them, give it a day. Be nice to people. Ask them questions. Take a genuine interest in who they are, where they're at in their life. You will be amazed at how much further you can go when you start actually giving a crap about people. I know you'd love it too if anyone took a real interest in you. Look, we got to stop fighting with each other. We're trying to compete for the same thing. We're all in this together. Okay, we are all on this planet for the same purpose. None of us are going to make it out alive. I hate to break it to you. We have enough food. We have enough resources. We got to stop fighting over the same crap and start working together for each other's benefit. There's this concept that all of us are competing for the same thing. We're not. We're supposed to be collaborating, not competing. There is more than enough to go around. But we got to start sharing it. We have to start sharing it openly and vulnerably. Love you. Rock your Saturday.